Hey YouTubers, Rob here with another Commodore 64 game. This time we're taking a look at the conversion of the arcade classic Bobble. It was a bit of a request, so I decided to at least get it out of the way. C64 conversion was published in '87 by Firebird, handled by Software Creations, and a lot of really cool games and ports over the years on the C64. And before we get anyway, essentially, standard. If you haven't played the arcade game, I'll try to cover it as I go in, but it's pretty much a fairly simple little cutesy platformer. It's a game I have fond memories of, but in that it's a good game. I've enjoyed it. I played it a fair bit, but I never played it. Like, it's not a game that I'd go back to as like, ooh, it's a great game. It's a game I enjoy and respect, but it's not one of my all-time favorites. This Commodore conversion is pretty good though. So before we dive in, unfortunately there's a little intro that comes up when the game starts that I didn't grab. And this is sort of, I guess, the title screen. It's got simultaneous 2-player mode, which is nice. In this case, I'm just going to go single player. And we get the little intro. The only bit you're missing from the arcade is there's sort of Bobble background that animates, which isn't here. But the rest is, despite the multi-color mode on the 64 reducing the resolution, it's all pretty good port. I mean, controls are good. You do get simultaneous 2-player if you have someone to play with. Unfortunately, I don't in playing this through, so and that does kind of lead to the one problem I do have with the game. You can sort of see in the lower right of the screen you've got the credits amount, and I found that whenever playing this now and back in the day, if you're playing single player and you don't have a second person, you are pretty much unable to continue. Like, it features the continue system like you'd expect in the arcade game. Unfortunately, if you're playing in single player, it's not entirely receptive to it. So, not the most fun in that regard. Music's great, excellent, cover of the game's score. And because also you get, the power-ups. Because I'm not intimately familiar with Bobble, there's the little parts of game logic with the power-ups that I'm not fully aware of, so I'm not going to be able to cover it. Again, like I said, because of the fact that it's a game that really you want to play with a friend, it's not one I really put a lot of time into as a result. But, considering they got all 100 levels into a single load, you've got to be pretty impressed with that. You'd rather annoyed to have to go, load the extra levels. So, but first life, yeah. Two out of 6. And of course, the letters that I've just collected spell extend. You collect all of those, you get the extra. The extra life. So it's extra life, or it's... I forgot, again, I can't remember what it is, it's been so long. Yes, we got the umbrella. Warp umbrella. So the umbrella is, of course, one of the ones I do remember always. You use that and you skip through several levels. I think there's... Memory serves, I think they're randomly brought in I think he comes up at certain stages. Ugh. Aha! Got it! So, as I was saying earlier, the big problem I have playing this in single player is that being able to use your credits is... Yeah, it's not like a normal arcade game where it's like you've got 5 seconds to hit continue or not. If you don't do things straight away, you basically end up going straight back to the title screen. And when I just died on that last life, I was just slamming the I was slamming both the fire button on the joystick and along with the uh-oh, I've taken too long. I slammed both the fire button on the joystick and one on the keyboard for one player start, just in case one of them tripped, and it worked. But the thing is, it's not a reliable method, and I think that to me is personally what I kind of don't like about the game. That it's not a reproducible technique, and I think it kind of ruins the game. And then this stage. Where there is good weight. The controls, the weight feels good. I mean, I guess, yeah, you're not. All that again. And he's going to be right next to me. Yeah, as I said, I appreciate this is a great game. I just do not have the nostalgia for it because of things like this. It's an excellent conversion, and it got really highly rated back in the day. But yeah, it's not the type of game that I'm gonna jump out for. Finally. And that's a bit of the gameplay. Now that's not a fault of the Commodore 64 version. That's designed as part of the original arcade game. I mean, if you've got that level and you have to use those water bubbles to attack those enemies, it's not going to be magic that. Alright, that's game over. See, you've got to time it. If you can't time it right, yeah, game over. And that to me, like, yeah, a good player is going to eventually be able to master it and complete all 100 levels without dying, but in my case, I'm just not that good at it. It's not a game it's not a game I have a crazy amount of nostalgia for. I have a lot of respect for it, but it's not one that I'm chasing up the opportunity. But regardless, it's still a great conversion, one worth checking out if you are a fan of the game. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to bringing you another 64 game soon. Thanks.